Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is the How to Mess Up Your Business series. My guest is Stan Karwowski. Hello, Stan.
Hey, Maciej, thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
We have also a special guest from Mexico. Hello, Mexico. Best regards from Poland.
Exactly.
Stan, today we will talk about how to mess what? How to mess around or how to mess strategy? What will we mess up with?
Maciej, whatever you like, actually. You can do whatever you like. You're a free person. But today we're going to talk about how to mess up your business, particularly.
Yeah, but in business there are many areas. For today, I would like to talk about product management, product portfolio, how to mess this area up. And the idea of our show, TV show, is we will give you special ideas how to mess up many areas of your business. Of course, we will give you some positive ideas as well, but we need your support in comments. So if you have any other ideas how to mess up, please share it with us.
Lovely.
Yeah. So, Stan, what is your first idea to mess product portfolio up?
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about uh, product portfolio management, there are many things you can really screw up and then, push your business into jeopardy. The first thing I would mention is actually to do little market research before you even get into the market. Maciej,
Uh-huh.
have you seen situations like that company doesn't really know what competitors do and just enters the market?
Of course, because the CEO has the enlightenment. He knows everything, and he says, "Let's go, guys."
Exactly. That's what it is. We can see it quite often in the market. You would think that this is the last thing you would like to do, right? But if you look
No,
practically,
I love this. I feel like I feel like Tommy Lee Jones. I think that this is the thing that many entrepreneurs love to do, and
Mhm.
and I think that when they meet, when they come across such consultants like you, they think, oh no, he will spoil my little toys of messing up with everything. No, I don't want to change anything.
Hey,
Isn't it
you,
like this?
yeah, I think so. Actually, I think you're not far from true here because on one hand, we want to listen to people who have experience and seen things in other companies and learn. On the other, we have that strong desire to follow our own path, right?
Hmm.
And create
Yeah.
our own things. And then also have that pleasure of being appreciated for
Hmm.
what we've done, what we've come up with, etc. So I think you're very right, actually. And honestly speaking, I in most cases I see that kind of approach. I have an idea I think is great. So let's
And
make it.
at the end of the day, it's not my fault. It's the fault of my lousy
Ah,
people.
yeah, yeah. It's the blame game that happens at
Yeah.
the end of the day, right? Somebody else didn't do something. That was competitors did something wrong, right? They don't
COVID.
play. They are not fair. Things like that, or the government doesn't help me. You can
Mhm.
blame many people or organizations, but not you. So yeah, the first thing to do would be to really or not to do is to not to do any market research and start just like carte blanche and
Mhm.
hoping that the business will go well, but it's a very risky approach.
Yeah, that's a very risky approach. And if you would like to mess up your product management portfolio, please don't do any research about what competitors do, what is the portfolio of their products, and what is needed on the market.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and
Hmm.
that brings us to another topic, because when we talk about market, we talk about customers, we
Hmm.
talk about partners. And another thing that you can do to really mess up your business when it comes to product management is to enter market with a product where your brand isn't really well known. So let's say the brand awareness is very low. You enter hoping that suddenly people will start buying your products, but that's
Mhm.
not really the case. I can tell you that 2 weeks ago I had a call with an entrepreneur who created a game, and he was hoping that the game was really good, different from anything else in the market, and he can enter market and the price, like, have a really high price tag. But when I asked him, is your brand even known in the market? Why would people buy you? He couldn't answer, and then immediately thought, oh, okay, you may be right. Maybe I can't do that now.
Real genius, because his product is really good.
Exactly.
His product is the only such product on the market, so he will be successful ex definizione.
Yeah, just from day one. From day
Uh-huh.
one.
Mhm.
So again, if you want to mess up your business when it comes to product management, think number two to do is to enter a market with a new product where your brand is not known.
Yeah, because on the positive side of this area,
Mhm.
if you have brand, your margin will go up. Without
Exactly.
brand, you can make everything people want, but without brand, it would be worthless, or your margin will be like a peanut.
Exactly, exactly. And maybe we don't see that like doing business day to day, but it actually is very close to how we build relationships with people, not even
Mhm,
business relationships, right? If you don't have a relationship with somebody, you can't expect that person will help you or guide you or whatever, right?
mhm,
And that's the same thing here when it comes to entering the market with a product. You really have to have some kind of a relationship with your
mhm,
customers before you can count on them buying your products, giving you positive reviews, etc.
mhm,
Otherwise, you'll need to spend a lot of money on ads, on SEO and all that stuff, and
mhm.
hope that it's gonna, you're gonna have an ROI in the next year or so. Um, yeah.
Or a next decade. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
what about products? What about the third technique of screwing up your product management portfolio? There are many products that are over invested. I think uh,
Mhm.
entrepreneur had an idea, had an enlightenment. Nobody told him that this is a bad idea without research.
Yeah.
Then they entered the market without anything and without awareness, because this is the best product in this area,
Ever.
and so on.
Yeah.
Uh, and they and they have a lot of money, so they burn. I think I think that many times companies do not invest in profitable
Mhm.
products. They invest in zombie products, and this is something horrible. Is it
But it's
a third idea of screwing up product management portfolio?
no, definitely, definitely. We see that very often in IT industry, right? We have a lot, we have many IT guys with excellent ideas, and I really do appreciate their knowledge and experience and everything.
Mhm,
But sometimes they come up with an idea of another e-commerce platform or marketplace, right? And
mhm,
hope that they're gonna be another something, right?
mhm,
Amazon or another Uber on another Netflix,
mhm,
um, but there's no business strategy behind it.
mhm,
And they do have money, so they are ready to spend the money. But wouldn't it be worth first to sit down, create a strategy, and only then actually, think about, okay, how my product is gonna look like, how I'm gonna engage with my potential customers, and that engagement is super important, right? Because
mhm,
otherwise you never know if it's gonna work out. So
mhm,
one thing that people don't often do is create some kind of a community around your product when you enter a
mhm,
market. And that really helps, right? Even if you have 10, 20, 30 people that start and they give you fair reviews, they kind of co-create the product with you, then your chances for success are a lot higher and you've got those advocates, right? Do people
yeah.
do that? I think that's super rare that they do something like that. They usually they have an idea. If they have money, it's even worse than if they
Yeah.
didn't, right? Because they're gonna burn it. Don't you think so?
Yes, of course. But I will put a stick in the anthill in
Mhm.
formicary, as we say in Polish. Isn't it a blue ocean strategy? I
Uh,
have an idea of something unexpected by a market, and I
mhm.
enter the market and say, "Hey guys, I have something you have never expected." This
Yeah.
is a very blue ocean strategy, or not?
Maciej, I think it's actually totally different from Blue Ocean, if I'm honest with you, right?
Okay.
Because Blue Ocean strategy, and we really like that methodology because, I mean, from my experience, it's probably the best business strategy methodology we have here available currently. Is so in Blue Ocean strategy, you never focus on product first. That's not
Hmm.
the approach. First of all, you focus on value that you give to the customer, and that's the key thing. What kind of value you have, and the keyword is value innovation, right?
Hmm.
So first of all, you want to look into, okay, what kind of products are available in the market, and then think how my competitors are doing. Are they providing the value? Are they doing things that matter or don't matter? If they do things that don't matter, you don't want to repeat those things because customers don't appreciate them, they don't pay for them, even
Hmm.
sometimes they resign of a product because of those things that don't bring value to them. Now
Hmm.
in another place, they when you actually deliver value, they're gonna pay for that, they're gonna appreciate you, they're gonna give you reviews, support you, be your advocates, whatever, depending on how good you are, right? So it's totally different from business from Blue Ocean to create a product, an idea, and go with an idea. Actually, you start with a customer, with his
Hmm.
or her need, challenge, problem, whatever, and how you can deliver value. And only then you can come up with an idea of a product, service, whatever you like. But that's the sequence, not the other way
Hmm.
around.
Okay, but it doesn't protect you from another idea of
Mhm.
screwing up uh, product portfolio management. Um, this idea is, I will name it as a hunting for a unicorn or for a whale. I
Mhm.
know many entrepreneurs who are thinking, overthinking, and who are uh, they are preparing for many years for making this special only product, very special, but they do not start. Uh,
Mhm.
why? Because they want it to be perfect. Isn't it a brilliant idea for for many people to screw up their business?
Yeah, I think it's perfect. You're spot on. Yeah, I mean, from the start, you want to have something perfect, ideal, and only then enter a market. But is it really real life? Do you do that in real life? No, we never do that. First, you start with an MVP, and only
Mhm,
then think about, okay, it works. How do I scale up in terms of features, in terms of whatever else, right? Resources, whatever it can be. But
mhm,
it's a perfect idea, right? And when it comes to those, yeah, let's call them unicorns or whatever you like, right?
mhm,
Um, I call them only me products, right? Only I have a product. And in essence, it's a really good thing to have a product like that in your portfolio because those products have a great potential for growth. So you can count on higher revenues, higher profits, and overall growth of the company if you have a product of that time, which is very unique. However, the challenge with it is that first of all, you have to respond to customer needs and not come up with your idea that's going to magically solve problems that your customers should never have in the first place,
mhm.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the sequence. And also, it relating to something we've mentioned before, those products usually don't have any awareness. People are not aware that that product can even exist or a service, right?
Yeah.
You come up with something and people open their eyes and say, wow, okay, great, I've never even thought about it, right?
and
But
they say, "Holy shit!"
exactly.
But they they haven't even heard about the product because you didn't want anyone to steal your idea. Yes, when
Mhm.
you build up a unicorn product, you protect it.
Yeah,
That's why you don't build any audience. Yeah.
exactly. And your protection goes that far that nobody even then buys your product because it's so well protected.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Uh, I think that we are in the middle of our episode.
Mhm.
I think there's time for our listeners to engage. Maybe. Uh, do we have any question to our audience? I have a question. I have a question. Dear audience. I have a question because I wonder if you have any other ideas for screwing up product portfolio. Please write it down in the comments because we have a few more to present them to you, and we are curious if your types will match our types, uh, our ideas. The next idea, Stan, is something totally different from unicorn building
Mhm.
or whale hunting. The idea is to give people what they have already. Yeah.
Yeah. So those products you can call me also
Mm-hmm.
products, right? Because I
Yeah.
have it, you have it, they have it, everybody has it. And overall, I don't think it's a bad idea to have a product like that in your portfolio, right? Because you want to have cash flow. It's really
Yeah.
simple.
Mm-hmm.
If people know a product, be it insurance policy, for example, for your car, right? They just buy it because they have a need. It's well kind of known and everything. You don't have to work on it. So you want to consider to have a product like that in your portfolio if you want to be diversified and you want to be secure, basically from cash flow perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Now the challenge with those products is that they don't have any potential for growth, and the reason for that is that many companies in the market are competing against you to get their slice of the market, right? So if you wanna steal a bigger, a bigger slice, you have to in a way fight over them, and then you, for example, can invest in ads, in SEO, set up some partnerships with bigger organizations. I mean, there are ways to do that, but it's a lot harder, right? You can't count that you're gonna take over a big slice of the market just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that if you're just starting up, right? There's definitely gonna be a market leader or leaders who are already there and they know all the different tricks how to fight over their competition. So let's say a cash cow, so-called
Mm-hmm.
product, it's not a bad idea to support your portfolio and to ensure good cash flow. However, be mindful that with this, you will not grow to a scale of a global international company. It's a thing that's gonna feed your business
Mm-hmm.
shorter term.
Yeah, so we have a kind of zoo here. We have whales, we have unicorns, and a cash cow, which
Yeah,
is a really good idea to have a cash cow, of course. Uh,
analogies are good, aren't there, Maciej? Right?
yeah, we love them. What is the next idea to screw up product management?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I would throw another one. This is an often idea from entrepreneurs is that they come up with a product that is like a me better product, meaning I have it, other people have it, but my product is better in terms of certain functionalities or terms or conditions of cooperation, etc. So
Or
to give
price, or
or
price.
or price, yeah.
Many entrepreneurs think that the price is. There's also a brand in Poland,
Mhm.
shoe store. brand which is named CCC, which at the beginning um, it meant cena czyni cuda, which is the price makes a miracle. Yes.
Makes miracles. Yeah, but CCC, right? It gives you the idea of organizations from the past, political or military, right? That
Mhm.
always fail. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's my thing. Um, uh, yeah, exactly. I mean, can I give you an example that illustrates that me better type of a product? Well,
Mhm.
uh, it's you probably know that car manufacturer called Kia. It's a
Okay.
Korean company. So what Kia came up with is a 7-year warranty on their cars, which is really good, right?
Mhm.
You have BMW, Mercedes giving you 2 or 3 years, right? And they are perceived as luxury and quality makes, right?
Yeah.
However, those guys can give 7. Now, is it a good strategy? It is, but only for people that appreciate that 7-year warranty, right? Because,
Mhm.
for example, in most countries, it's companies, businesses that buy the highest number of cars, right? And if you have a company and you lease a car for 2 or 3 years, you don't give a no what for about a 7-year warranty, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not gonna fly because that's not, let's say, that's not the selling point, the unique selling point for them. So you will sell well for individual people, B2C, right? Because they
Mhm.
do appreciate that they can keep a car for 10 years, right? They get emotionally attached, whatever, doesn't matter, but they appreciate. So that's the thing with me better products, is that if you find the sweet spot and you're, in your customer segments, and they appreciate your better something, then that's gonna work. But if you don't, it's not gonna work. And we can see examples of that all over, actually, in many different industries.
Yeah, yeah, that's really the point, and this is a matter of strategic approach, because
Mhm.
when you have decided that your ideal consumer is B2C, your ideal business partner is B2C, then 7-year warranty is a great idea. But if you decided that 2-year that warranty isn't interesting for B2B, then you focus on
Mm,
B2B.
exactly. But then, most often the entrepreneurs try to find something that is different from the rest, but they don't think what is the implication of that better feature
Hmm.
or condition, whatever, right? They
Yeah.
just, okay, I have something else. It's gonna differentiate me from competitors or from competitive products, right? But what is the impact? How will it translate into the market? That's the question you should ask
Yeah,
yourself before you do that.
and we touched the very first idea of screwing up product portfolio, which was no research.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
This idea is the result of no research approach.
Yeah, exactly. Because the research can also mean many different things, right? You can do a research, the desk type of a research, where you look through competitors, their products, prices, features, blah blah. But
Mhm.
you also wanna, for example, do a research on what your customers think about your business idea, right? And that's I think that's the most important type of research you should do
Mhm.
before you do anything. Just come up with an idea. If you have an idea, put it into a few words, 1, 2 slides, and go and ask people what do you think about it before you do anything else. And that type of a research, I think, is super valuable. And that type of research is the one that almost nobody does, honestly speaking.
Yeah, but it is very simple and easy. And what about copying your competitors? I think that this is very Chinese strategy. Uh,
Hmm.
Maybe not stupid, as we see the development of China in recent decades. Uh, but isn't it also a strategy for total collapse?
It depends, right?
Mhm.
How good you are and who you copy.
Okay.
Overall, I think copying from strategic perspective is a really bad idea because you're then gonna immediately enter a red ocean,
Hmm.
meaning you have to fight with others, right? Now, when you want to copy something, copy it from a market leader, right?
Hmm.
Don't try to copy from your neighbor, right?
Hmm.
Because you never know how your neighbor came to how his business works, right? You don't know that. Even for a market leader, it's super risky because you don't know what was the perspective, what was the context and idea behind the whole thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see a business just, let's say, in a very limited kind of perspective, and you
Hmm.
don't know what the owner wanted to achieve, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted to burn some money in that business or test something or whatever, right? And you're gonna copy something that was never supposed to, be what you want your company to be. So
Yeah, or maybe he gave some money for his son who has two left hands to try to play a business, and he failed.
exactly, exactly. Or it was just a, I don't know, one day idea. Let's try
Mhm.
something. I was drunk, and no,
Yeah.
that's an extreme. But copying something, I think, is not a good way when it comes to long term type of a business. So never do that. Uh, you should though have a good understanding of especially what your market leaders do, right?
Hmm.
You don't have to copy them, but you should know what they do and how your value is going to respond to their value for their customers, right? You're going to have the same customers, right? But how your value compares to their values. I think that is important, but copying, definitely not. I think it's a shortcut thing that people do and think, okay, I'm smart. I'm
Hmm.
gonna do what the best guys do, and I'm gonna be
Hmm.
super successful as they are. But if
Yeah,
you don't know
and
what they have gone through, it might turn out that you're gonna end up, where, and you don't want that.
or you will end up in a black hole. Uh,
Hmm.
people also people also think that they will save some money or time by copying
Yeah,
others because
yeah,
they think, okay, i I don't need to spend time on thinking about the product, about the offer, and so on. I don't I don't need money for research and time.
yeah,
I will simply do what I think that works,
yeah.
but this is
Yeah.
very special. What I think that works, as you said, many times it doesn't work.
And there's one more thing. I quite often see that this is a sign when somebody is trying to copy other competitor strategy, basically. It's a sign that sometimes they don't have competencies internally, like management type of competencies, marketing, sales, product development, and that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And that's why they do that. Uh,
Hmm.
and then also they don't wanna work with consultants or anybody else that can help them because
Hmm.
they think that costs so much money that it's not worth it. But trust me, if you have an idea, you wanna invest in it just based on your intuition, right? That's probably gonna cost you a lot more than going to somebody, find a mentor, a colleague who did that, a consultant, whatever, right? Even go through courses, whatever you like, right? But really invest a bit into making sure that you understand what you're doing and you have competencies around it. If you don't, that's gonna cost you 10 times more. The
Hmm.
whole thing is going to cost you 10 times more than if you invested, ask somebody for help, or did something to really prevent that.
Hmm. Yeah, is it really this this number 10 times, not 10% more?
No, no, I would go more for 10 times than 10%, right?
Okay.
Because you're gonna learn many times and fail so many times. And you didn't have to do that if you
Hmm.
ask somebody who did that in the past or saw somebody else doing that, right? And has that expertise. So
Yeah.
it's more towards 10 times more than 10% more for
Hmm.
sure. I'm
Okay.
100% sure because you're gonna fail on product development, marketing, you're gonna fail on sales, on pricing, and many other things one by
Hmm.
one, right? And
Yeah.
before you get there, it's going to take you several years, honestly. If you are in a position where you don't have competencies, don't have experience,
Hmm.
you're going to spend several years learning hard, right?
Hmm.
and spending a lot of money, and be mindful that it's not only the money, the physical money you invest, it's also the time you invest in that thing, because alternatively you could go elsewhere and earn more money, right,
Yeah,
than
yeah, yes, of course.
than
Mhm.
here. So
Of
you,
course.
you have to think holistically here.
Yeah, yeah. In these terms, yes, it's obvious. What about the situation I have? What about this kind of situation? I have
Mhm.
really tremendous, beautiful product portfolio. Cash cow one, cash cow two, cash cow three, four, five, six, cash cows in my portfolio, and I really hug those cows
Every
every
day, every
single
morning.
day since 20 years of hugging and making some
Yeah,
money,
milk and milking them.
milking them with money. Yeah. And
Mhm.
do I have any place for mistake or not?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, every product has its own trajectory. So it's
Mhm,
gonna build up. There's a moment where you have the critical mass, and then it's gonna go down, right?
mhm,
So a product that can last for 20 years and be in cash cow is probably something you don't see, right?
mhm,
Unless you are a monopolist or a government type of an organization that basically nobody can compete with. We
mhm.
have examples of those companies, but it's not something an individual entrepreneur can do. That's the
Okay.
first thing. Now the other
Or
thing,
or or you can be a mafia.
you can be a mafia. Yeah, that's another idea for a business. It's a community building thing, right?
Yes, of course, networking.
It's networking. It's networking, hard networking.
Yeah.
Now you also want to consider if having 10 cash cows is good for you long term, because
Mhm,
as I said, there's a trajectory, and
mhm,
every product will go down eventually. So if you ask me, I think it's more to have a really diversified and well balanced portfolio where you
mhm,
have cash cows, those me too products, let's call them, that's easier, me too products. You also
mhm.
have maybe me better products that for certain segments
Okay.
you have better quality, better conditions of delivery, whatever that is. And
Mhm,
you also want to have that only me product, because
mhm.
only that one will give you a
The
chance
advantage.
for high growth. Yeah.
Mhm,
And then when you said that if I lay down and be super happy that I earn money and everything is cool, I think it's a really tricky and risky thing to do, because you want to be reviewing your products portfolio every now and then, and also looking into what the competition is doing, because even if you are super good, people will follow you, right? They will see what you do and will try to copy, especially those guys that they don't invent a lot, right?
mhm,
So you want to be reviewing the product portfolio quite on a regular basis. And for some companies, I can tell you it's a big problem, right? Especially for the bigger ones, because if you have, I don't know, 500 SKUs for
mhm,
product, right, or 300 different services and different permutations of those services, it is difficult. So what I quite often see is that those companies have a problem with managing the portfolio, even the names and description specifications of their services or products. So you don't want to really leave this alone somewhere
mhm,
in a catalog or on your hard drive. You want to be really on it, on top of it, and understand what's going on and how that portfolio will evolve. Otherwise,
mhm,
somebody else will beat you, or you will get so confused in your portfolio that eventually you will lose track, and it's going to be a big problem to solve in a in a quick period of time.
mhm. And many times we were talking about innovation.
Mhm.
Do I do I take it right that in nowadays you have to be innovative? You have to have maybe one, but really innovative
Mhm.
product in your
Yeah.
portfolio.
Maciej, I think also what is important is to really also define what innovation means,
Yeah.
right? Because if we by innovation mean that we want to have something totally different, something new, modern, super technologically advanced, that's not innovation,
Mhm,
right? Technology is not innovation. It's not
mhm,
the process solely that is an innovation. It's not competencies within your company solely that are innovation.
Mhm.
Innovation as such, from business perspective, is more what kind of value you're giving to your customers. It's the value you provide and deliver to your customers rather than any specific internal characteristics of your company, of your products, of your people, your processes, your tools, right? This
Mhm.
is just something that you use to activate value for your customers, and you shouldn't be looking into only your internal perspective. So
Mhm.
if you ask me, Maciej, is innovation valuable? Yes, it is, but I would say that it is valuable when you look first of all from what kind of value you deliver to your customers, and also where you wanna uh, sit down and maybe limit or even reduce or even totally eliminate certain activities towards your market and your customers that don't bring value, right? Because it's not that we have all the time kind of bring new things. It's more like sit down and think, okay, these things don't give value to me, to my customers, to me, etc. I want to limit, reduce, eliminate them, right?
Mhm.
And these ones do. So I want to focus on them, build more on them so that customer satisfaction grows up. And I also want to constantly try to come up with some new values that other competitors that they don't provide. And I can, by that, differentiate myself from competition.
Mhm. That makes sense. That makes sense because many entrepreneurs are afraid of being innovative because they think, okay, I have to have thousands of millions of dollars for R&D in
Yeah.
order to be innovative. But innovation is can be could be something different. Not only billions on R&D.
Yeah, I mean, innovation doesn't mean you have to invest in the
Mhm.
first place. Innovation
You have
means
to
that
think.
you have to think. Exactly, you have to observe. And I think what is most important, that you have to talk to your customers, go to them, visit them, meet them, see how they work, how they use your products and services, what kind of value that gives to them. And then when they say, hey, listen, I have a problem here and I don't know how to solve it, maybe you can help me.
Mhm.
And that's the aha moment. Aha, okay, I can think of it. Just give me a few days and I'll come back with something. That's how
Mhm.
you innovate, right? Not just thinking, reading books, and now suddenly I've got an idea, I'm gonna do that, right?
Mhm.
That's a recipe
Yeah.
for spending a lot of money for nothing,
Yes,
right?
of course. How do you think is our guest from Mexico satisfied with our episode?
I hope so. I think we've given him so many different reasons to laugh that he should be.
Yes. Please, Antonio, please tell us:
Fernando.
are you satisfied with our innovative show?
That guy,
Definitely, he's
that guy
satisfied.
always makes me laugh. He's so funny.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Many. 8 ideas of messing up your portfolio, of messing product management. I think it was very innovative. And I would like to thank you for your input to our talk. Of course, dear audience, we would be pleased to hear your feedback, your ideas about messing portfolio. And of course, we would like to propose you a second episode. Stan, do you have an idea what will we be messing with up?
Messing with. Yeah, I have a few ideas we can use. One of them would be customers. How to mess up your relationship with the customer. It's a
Oh, great idea.
it's a perfect scenario for showing how to really mess it up, screw it up.
Yeah, I think it is a very good idea. Please write down in the comments how do you think? Is it really a good idea? And we will meet in a week or 2 weeks. Please subscribe to the channel so you will have a notification about the new episode. Thanks a
Mhm.
lot, Stan. Thanks a lot,
Thanks.
guys,
Thank you,
for
Maciej, for having me. I really enjoyed that, and I hope for as we said, next episodes in the series. That was really
yeah.
cool. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And for the next 30 seconds, we will show you some different shows we've made with Stan or not with Stan, but it will satisfy you. I hope. Thanks a lot
Hopefully.
and bye bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.